Bloomberg Audio Studios. Podcasts, radio, news.
The Stock Movers Report, your roundup of companies making moves in the stock market, harnessing the power of Bloomberg data.
Let's take a look at some stocks on the move today. I'm Tom Keene with Paul Sweeney and Bloomberg's Lisa Mateo.
I think it's sad when we come to me when we want to get sane.
Yes.
All right, so let's take it. I want to start with Boeing, ticker BA. Their shares have been up more than 3%. There's a couple reasons behind it. So first is this big news. The Wall Street Journal reporting that the FAA easing restrictions on the 737 MAX deliveries. So basically, they're set to get a little bit more leeway from the agency to perform some final safety checks before they're delivered. And that's going to make it easier for them to get their aircraft to customers. And the journal's also saying that Boeing's going to get permission to raise output for the 737.
Now
Yeah,
we're
currently,
talking.
it's capped at 38. So, now they might raise that, which is huge news for them. They're already getting the orders. This is the other news: as many as 225 aircraft from Turkish Airlines, 50 of them firm commitments. Norwegian Air saying they're going to exercise an option.
Uzbekistan. They had an order out there a couple days ago. Let's not forget that one.
So the orders are starting to come in.
Exactly.
You've been talking about this, Paul. Like they're getting back in the game again.
Good.
All right, I want to take you to Intel, ticker INTC. Their shares up 4%. Then we also have Global Foundries we're keeping an eye on, GFS. Their shares have been up more than 9%. The Wall Street Journal again reporting the Trump administration considering this new plan that's going to reduce the U.S.'s reliance on chips that are made overseas. How they're going to do this? Well, it's kind of familiar to what he was saying because you've been hearing this, right? If they, build these centers in the U.S., they'll get, an exemption from certain things. Okay, so what this is going to do, they're going to have the chip companies manufacture the same number of chips in the U.S. as their customers import from producers overseas. So if they don't maintain that 1-to-1 ratio, then they're going to have to pay the tariff. So it's changing it a little bit.
So into the weekend, do we assume by Monday morning, companies are going to be crowbarred into investment in Intel? Is that basically what I'm hearing?
Well, I think we already seen a little bit of it, but I just think what we're seeing across the board of this industrial policy, this tariff policy, is bring back as much as you can to the U.S. And if you do that, then we'll give you a break on the tariffs, and that seems to be working at the moment.
Yeah, and we see it with pharmaceuticals, which is the other point, that we want to get to, because his threat to place that 100% tariff on patented drugs unless they invest in the U.S., right? So you look at Eli Lilly, their shares have been up at 1%, like Merck. But then if you flip side, you see European companies like Novo Nordisk, they're seeing a hit. Their shares have been down as much as 3%. So we have pharmaceuticals, right? Then you keep talking tariffs. You go to trucks, imported heavy trucks, subject to a 25% duty. This is starting on Wednesday. So Daimler Truck Holdings, their shares have been down as much as 4% in Frankfurt. And then though you look on the flip side, you have shares of Sweden's Volvo, which makes Volvo and Mack trucks locally. Their shares rose 3% in Stockholm. So
how about Vespa?
The difference. Vespa.
What are we doing there?
They're not the heavy truck.
Okay, all right. They're not the heavy
They're not the heavy truck.
Okay.
And then you think of upholstered furniture imports. They're going to be taxed at like 30%. So Wayfair shares, they've been down as much as 3%. You look at RH down as much as 4%. Williams-Sonoma even down more than 2%. Add to that kitchen cabinets, bathroom vanities, they're going to be hit with a 50% charge. So tariffs really, really playing a big role.
The Stock Movers Report from Bloomberg Radio. Check back with us throughout the day for the latest roundup of companies making news on Wall Street. And for the latest market-moving headlines, listen to Bloomberg Radio live. Catch us on YouTube, Bloomberg.com, and on Apple CarPlay and Android Auto with the Bloomberg Business app.